Hi, Michelle here. Thought I would tell you a story. The title of it is Maybe Yes, Maybe No. And maybe you've heard it before. But it's a good story and I really like it. And it's helped me to kind of have a little bit of perspective in life when things happen, good and bad. Anyway, the title of the story is Maybe Yes, Maybe No. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to follow me, subscribe, whatever. Sorry. Not up on the lingo. If you want to subscribe, you're welcome to. If not, peace, I'm good. Just sharing some content. But I thought I would share the story because I really like it. It's a Chinese farmer, and he's very poor, and he has a wife and a child and a horse, and lives in a nice village in China. And the title is Maybe Yes, Maybe No. So it starts off, and we have this village, and we have a farmer, his wife, his son, and a horse. And the son accidentally leaves the barn door open, and the horse escapes. And the villagers come up to him when they hear about it, the farmer, and they're like, "Oh, that's such bad news. That's horrible. You can't do your farming now that the horse is gone. What are you going to do? This is terrible." And the farmer's like, "Maybe yes, maybe no." And the villagers are like, "That's weird. That's a weird comment," but they just shake their head and walk away. And time goes on, and the horse comes back, and it brings a whole bunch of wild horses with him. And the villagers are so excited for the farmer. They're like, "Oh, this is good news. This is good luck. This is such good luck. You have your horse back, and you have more horses. This is such a good thing." And the farmer's like, "Maybe yes, maybe no." And the villagers, they just shake their head and walk away. And time goes on, and the farmer's son is trying to break one of the wild horses, and he gets knocked off and breaks his leg. The villagers are like, "Oh, that's such bad news. That's a horrible thing. You have no helper on your farm." And the farmer's just like, "Maybe yes, maybe no." And the villagers are like, "Well, I'm never going to get used to this maybe yes, maybe no thing." But they just walk away, and time goes by, and a week later, war breaks out, and all of the eligible young men in the village are taken off to be in war and to fight in this war. And all of them except for the farmer's son, who has a broken leg. And the villagers are like, "This is a good thing." The farmer's like, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Anyway, the moral of the story, or I guess the thing we're supposed to get from it, is bad things happen, good things happen, but we don't know what the ultimate outcome is going to be. And I'll give you an example. Well, I'll give you two. With my parathyroid. When this happened, when my doctor told me that there was some unusual stuff in my blood work, she thought it was cancer, blood cancer. So I got sent to a hematologist. And for 2 months, I spent time doing a lot of testing, x-rays all over, blood work, you name it, I had it done, it seems like. And then 2 months later, I found out I do not have blood cancer, but I have hyperparathyroid, and I had a parathyroid that was really messing with me. This thing was making me really sick. And I had surgery in August, and this is November, and I am feeling so much better. I'm in an argument with my dogs that we don't go to bed at 5 o'clock, because I was putting them to bed at 5 o'clock because I was done. I was fatigued. I was having really bad waves of depression. I was anxious. I just had a lot of health issues that I do feel better now since the surgery. But at first it seemed like a really bad diagnosis, like, oh my goodness, I could have blood cancer. And I didn't. And I found out it was a parathyroid, and I had surgery, and I feel better. Another incident, can't speak, incident that happened in my life was in 2006. My husband died of a massive heart attack at his job. He went to work and just died. I never got to say goodbye to him. I never got to have some closure on that. And it was horrible. And I was really depressed. And it was a terrible time in my life. And I miss him. I went from being a single mom to one kid to marrying him and having 3 more kids. And then he died. And I was at 38, the age of 38, I was suddenly a widowed mom to 4 kids who were 2, 4, 6, and 16 at the time. It was hard. I went from being a stay-at-home mom with a husband that went to work in a very traditional lifestyle to what am I going to do? How am I going to take care of 4 kids when I can hardly take care of myself, having this hard thing happen? I turned into a Karen for a bit. I am a reformed Karen. I hope. I have moments. Let me talk to your manager moments, but they are few and far between, and I am not a Karen anymore. But being suddenly a widow with 4 kids, 2 of them had type 1 diabetes. My 4-year-old and my 6-year-old had already been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. My 2-year-old, I knew there was something wrong with him. I was pretty sure he had autism, but I could not get a doctor to look at him and get diagnosed until he was 14. I was not a happy person for a little bit of time. So that was a horrible thing. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But because that happened, I eventually was able to move up to Montana, which is my home state. I'm not technically born here. I'm the only person in my immediate family. My brother, who's a year and 10 months younger than me, is born in Montana. My mom was born in Montana. My dad's born in Montana. And I get Biloxi, Mississippi because we were in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force when I was born. So Biloxi, Mississippi, and I can't spell Biloxi. Mississippi's easy. Anyway, I digress. I'm a 5th generation Montanan. And I always wanted to move back here, but my husband never wanted to move here. All his family is in California. And he had never been to Montana, and he didn't want to move back. So if he wouldn't have died, I'd still be in California. Not that I wished him dead, but it's not the absolute devastating thing in my life. And some good did come out of it. I was able to move up here in 2015. I bought my house, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, for $80,000 in 2015, which I could not afford it now. I have beautiful view of the mountains, and my kids got to be raised up here in their teen years. He died, and I'm like, why am I still in California? All my family, all my relatives are up here in Montana. So that was a good thing that I was able to move to Montana, and I never would have been able to do that if he was still alive. I have lots of pets now. My husband never wanted pets. I am a pet fanatic. I have 12 pets right now. I have 3 cats, 3 dogs, 2 rabbits, a gerbil, and 3 rats. I love my pets. I also have 2 adult children that live with me, so I'm not taking care of all 12 of these pets by myself, except for the dogs. They're mine. So anyway, something that happened that I thought was the worst thing in the world didn't end up. I mean, it was bad. It was horrible. It was a horrible time. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But some good things did come about in the long run. I raised my kids. It'll be 20 years in March of 2026. It'll be 20 years that he died, and I have a good life. I am happy. I am somewhere that I love living. That's beautiful. And things can happen, and maybe yes, it's a good thing. Maybe yet no, it's not a good thing. But we don't know. We don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story. I will try and share more stories with you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.